Very good. Nice. So let's see. Let's see what's going on. Okay, what do you know? Okay, what do you know?
IELTS writing test
Yes,
one.
task one. Yeah, let's start with the task one.
We have 20-minute times.
Okay.
And the task one is about.
Should it be 20 minutes?
Diagram, table.
Okay. Okay. Should it be 20 minutes? I mean, is it kind of set, or is there a timing on?
No, it's a
Yes. It's a recommendation, of course, yes. So you have 60 minutes on tops for both tasks. So there's no timing for task one and task two separately. They're not separate. Altogether, you have 60 minutes. You can devote 20 minutes of time because how many words do we need to write? 150, okay. Is that right? Okay.
250 for task one.
Okay. So is it kind of like you should, what is the maximum
200
for task one?
200
Okay.
one.
And for task two?
Or task one is diagram.
Task one is the diagram.
Diagram or 150.
Okay. So there's a maximum, right?
Yes.
No, there's no maximum.
200.
There's no maximum, but you have actually a minimum. The minimum is 150 words for the task one. For the task two, 250 words. So there's no maximum. Why? Okay, because the time limits you. Okay, and so even if you are a very fast writer, kind of thinker, so you're not going to be able to write maybe the fastest one. Imagine that. Maybe humanly possible, something like around 300 words. Okay? So of course you need the consistency, you need the idea. So, I mean, a good writer is going to write maybe about 250, maybe 300 words, but you can write more than that, 350 if you're okay. Maybe you're a super fast kind of writer. And also, for the task one is 150, the minimum. It means if you write less than 150, are you going to lose something? The score?
Yes.
Okay, so what is it for? For counting? Do we have something like counting words and scoring? Anything related to that?
Examiner.
We have grammar, okay. Vocabulary, we call it lexical items. The fluency and also the task achievement. So where is it? Okay, it is in task achievement part. Okay, so it's in writing enough words to complete an essay, or so you need to write more, or you may lose maybe half or score based on how many words you missed. Okay, so you need to do that. You need to kind of bring yourself up to the minimum, which is more than minimum. So I always suggest write, for example, if it's 150, you need to write at least 165, 160, somewhere around that. Okay, why do I say that? Because some words you think that you're writing, some words are kind of together. Okay, or some students think that if they write in spite of or in spite of the fact of that, this is one word. Okay, so in spite of the fact that, it's a conjunction.
So it's not about the word.
It's not about it's not about the character. It's about the word. Yes. So you have to know that. Or also sometimes you write a sentence which is a cliche or repetitive sentence. Some students do that. Okay. Or you may unknowingly. Hi, how's it going? Come in, sit down. Okay. You can eat a little bit. Yes, it's a little bit here. Okay, that's fine. You can sit there. That's fine. Sorry for that. Okay, it's not on you, it's on me. Okay, that's fine. Okay, cool. So you need to kind of adjust your words up to 160 or 65 for the task one, and for the task you need to at least write 10 or 15, because some students just, I said unknowingly, just repeat some sentences, and or you may be really unknowingly kind of write some words, some sentences that are cliche. I'm going to talk about the mistakes and cliches. So you actually, those words are not counted. Those are repeated kind of structures or sentences that you did it kind of repeatedly through your task 1 or task 2. Yes, this is Iran. It's okay. Yeah.
If you repeat the words or if you use
Not
the
repeat the
finishes.
words, repeat the structures with the same words. Yes, of course, you're going to lose the score. You're going to actually lose the word, collocations, or whatever you use over and over. Okay? Or some students start always with the same. Because you can write some structures, some sentences, okay, for all essays. Okay? They say, okay, start with, this is a double sword situation, in, you know, so this is always the same thing for, you can write it for all essays, okay? I'm not saying, please, silent. I'm not saying that you shouldn't do that, but if you kind of exactly repeat that, okay, some things are kind of repetitive and are considered, and they're going to be reduced, redundant. Do you know the meaning of redundant? It means extra, okay? So you're actually, the examiner is going to make you redundant. So that's why I say you need to write more than they expect, more than the minimum. Okay, so this is so important, right? Very good. So let's start with actually, this is the IELTS academic writing lasts for 60 minutes. So you have 60 minutes of time, an hour of time. And in the 1 hour, you have a complete 2 tasks, task 2 and 1. Task 1 is a report. A report of what? A report of graphs, maps. So we call it a report, okay? So don't call it a graph or something, a process. We call it a report. And task 2, we call it an essay. So report and essay. It is suggested that you should spend about 20 minutes on task 1 and about 40 minutes on task 2. In IELTS academic writing, task 1, you are required to write at least 150 words. Surprisingly, we didn't know that. 10 to 15 sentences. So around, it depends on your how kind of complex your sentences are and how long your sentences are. Some students write short sentences, and this is a mistake. Okay, we need connections. We need more complex structures. So have they talked about the complex structures, your previous teachers? Do you know the difference between simple structures and complex structures?
Making words like however, like
Those are compound structures.
They are
Okay.
connected linking words.
Okay, I'm gonna talk about that too. Yes, it's okay. It's okay that you don't know that, because kind of a lot of teachers just miss that, you know. And also this is so disconnected, you know, 5 sessions, 5 sessions, 5 sessions. But it's okay. Okay, we have some structures that are simple. Let me simply explain that to you. Okay, for example, what do you say? You say, I like rock music, right? You say what? I love rock music, yet I don't listen to it all the time. Okay, sometimes I need to relax. So when I say I love rock music, so this is subject, verb, and complement, the rest of the sentence. This is some simple structure. Then you move to the second one. I love the rock music. What's your name? Aryan. Okay, my name is Arif. Okay, so the first one is I love rock music. Then you say yet, use the connecting word, yet I don't listen to it all the time. So we have a complex structure. You get it? It's compound structure. It means we connect two separate meaningful sentences that they have different subjects. So what if we actually delete one of these subjects, okay, and we only have one subject, and the first sentence is full, but the second sentence without subject is meaningless. We call this and this connected using what? Using, for example, relative pronouns. You know that. For example, I love rock music. Rock music, for music we use which one? Who, where, when, which? Which. I don't listen to it all the time. Now I have, because I have only one subject in a complete meaningful sentence with a kinda, a meaningful sentence if it's connected to the first one. That's the difference between compound and complex structure. This is one of these structures. We can use other structures too. For example, think about that. What are the complex structures? You all studied them in your kind of studies, in your previous courses. All the teachers say that to you. What are they? What are they? What are they? Think about it. Think about it. Conditionals, right? Conditionals, because you use a comma there. So if I were the president, I would do nothing, to be honest. So it's okay. So if I had $1 million, I would buy a private island for myself and get out of this country, right? I'm not. Okay, so we have two kind of sentences that are connected with a comma with a shared subject. What else other than conditionals? Kind of first, second, zero, mixed. How many conditionals do we have?
4 actually.
4?
4 names.
0, 1, 2, 3, 7, 6. Mixed. Mixed.
Just kind of mix, zero and
Mixed. We have 5 types of conditionals. So 0, first, second, third, and mixed. They're oddly named 0, first, second. I don't know, but I actually separate them into real conditionals and unreal conditionals, because the 0 and first are real, are talking about real condition, and the rest of them are talking about unreal conditions. So if you kind of forgot that something, because this is something we need. You need to know about conditionals, relative clauses, and things like that. So for the next session, please study the actually relative clauses and conditionals from the book Grammar in Use. Okay? Grammar in Use from Oxford University, I guess, right? So please, conditionals and relative clauses. Okay? These are some kind of prerequisites for your kind of writings, and you need to know them better. So have a reminder for yourself. Of course, you have all studied them, I know, it's okay, but you need a reminder, okay? Cool. You need to challenge yourself a little bit. Cool, very good. So, where were we? You're required to write at least 150 words for the task 1 and 250 words for the task 2. And it says 300 words maximum. I said there's no maximum, but yeah. It's not 300 words. It is recommended. Recommended. Writing task 1 accounts for 1 or 3, while writing task 2 accounts for 2 or 2/3 of your total writing score. So task 1 has kind of less impact on your total score. It's 1/3, but the other one is 2/3. Do you get it? So you sometimes need to spend more time on the task 2. That's why we devote 40 minutes to it. Some students are faster and kind of spend more time on actually thoughts, brainstorming, structures of the task 2, because they want to get a better score, because the task 1, it becomes rudimentary somewhere for you. If you write so many task 1s, you're like, automatic. Like something like you see, you just analyze it, okay? Like a pro. If you write enough writings for task 1. But a task 2 is it needs thoughts given to it, right? Attention, thoughts. It's like a baby. You need to bring up, okay? In IELTS writing test, you need to use academic language, formal language. So it means that you can use the word yummy. Is that correct? No. Delicious? Yes. Okay. Can you say, for example, kids?
no, children.
Children you should use. Okay. So avoid also, can I say, for example, some idioms, daily idioms? Or no, definitely not. There are a handful of idioms that you can use that are formal. Like what? On one hand, on the other hand, okay? There are a handful of idioms that are kind of used in a formal context. So this is So why we say academic language? Academic language is so different from informal language. In informal language, kind of in the USA, maybe kind of black English or whatever they call it. I'm not sure. So they actually use some kind of slangs, and the way they talk, they're different. They use ain't for aren't, isn't in all the things. Okay, so I ain't black, but I'm from Middle East, so I know there are differences, right? Okay, so, and also it says we need to use academic language, of course. So it's not an email to your friend. It's an email to your friend in general, IELTS. Sometimes you need to write a letter or something in general. And so that's the difference between the general and the academic module. So it is like, you in general one, for the task one, you write a letter. So for your own notice, you need to write a letter, or you need to kind of write an email to your friend, to your boss. So it actually covers a range of formality and informality. But for the task one in academic, it's only formal, and that's it. Okay, you need to report a graph. You need to report a graph. So what do I mean by that? Report. It means
Giving information about the figures.
okay. So
It's analyzing.
am I allowed kind of to say my opinion? For example, if it's rising, say, okay, it's good that, for example, it's not that house prices are rising. It's not good for our society. Can I say something like that?
We should say some statistical point and analyzing data about.
So we're talking about the data only, right? So you're not allowed to talk about your opinion. In task 2, if you're asked to talk about if it's opinion essay, you can state your opinion clearly, and you should do that. Actually, you have to do that to avoid losing score. But in task 1, you only report, okay? So there's no opinion involved, whether it's yours or others, okay? So if you say I believe, or if you say it is believed, both of them are not allowed. What's the difference between I believe and it is believed?
The personal idea or a public one.
Very good. So that's the difference. So we use this phrase, it is I believe, in my opinion, I reckon, whatever. So to state my own, personally, I think that way, right? My own ideas. But for others, so you think like that, I say it is believed that. So we use passive form of language to talk about others, right? It is thought that. So instead of repeating, we can use passive structure. You see? Instead of saying scientists believe that, it is thought that. It is believed that. So this is one way of paraphrasing. You know what I like about American language, about the way Americans talk, is that they paraphrase all the time. If you ask them, what kind of music do you like? They started, what I like about the music is, I love it, I adore it. They actually tend to talk too much. Not all of them, again, but generally. And they paraphrase it all the time. So paraphrasing is a skill that you need to hone, you need to kind of sharpen, right? So this is what you need for the writing. Any questions? About the format, about whatever? Okay, cool. Anything?